What's up, everybody? This is your man Adam here. I'm coming to you from Mystylist Life. I did change the title. I think this is a little funner, a little better, hopefully a little more descriptive. And then when you look in the descriptions below, it will be about education. And the big goal of what this is you being able to follow my journey. I am in the middle of beauty school right now, and we're going to be going all the way. We're going to go through mid and the end of beauty school, my final clock out. We're going to go finding a salon, actually getting into the salon, and all the steps in between. And hopefully, if you guys stick with me long enough, or stick with me at all, which I'd appreciate, you get to see the entire process. For anybody out there that's interested in lifestyle, fashion, or beauty industry, it's going to give you a special glimpse at it all, maybe see what to expect, maybe not. I will be filming at the school. I'll be teaching you all sorts of wonderful stuff along the way. This is also a good chance for everybody to learn some style tips, learn some pro tips, and I'll also be showing some of my specific clients, and this way they can log on and actually see how to care for their specific hair. If you happen to have a specific hair type, etc., you can also utilize some of these tips until you come and see me, of course. So we're just going to cover a few things today. I left my tripod at home, so I'm not going to be doing really any hair tonight. But I think there's a lot of equally overlooked aspects to not just our business, but the way we conduct our business and business in general, the business of people, the business of interaction. So we're going to go through, first kind of a breakdown of, some interesting current events. So if you're around right now, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. We'll get into that in a moment. A little bit more on education and communication, the importance of all that in all aspects of life, because I like to think that everything about the beauty industry, the salon industry, lifestyle industry, this applies to everything, every aspect of your life, how you interact with your friends, your neighbors, your spouse, your dog, all of it. It's all there. It's all applicable. So please stay tuned. I think anybody can learn something really amazing from this and can take something just wonderful out of it. We're going to just get into a little bit more about the best way to absorb information and the best way to be positive, the best way to use your state of mind to not only help your business, to help yourself, to help those around you, your children, your dog, anything, and especially your customers. All of you eventually out there will have customers if you don't already. So this is how we're going to get you there to that. And finally, we'll finish up with some style tips and our thanks, of course. So as you may have noticed, still working a lot of the bugs out. Hopefully this video will be a tiny bit edited, but I did invest in a nice tripod. As you can see, I'm a little brighter, not quite as shiny, so I did get a nice ring light. Slowly moving up like George and Wheezy, so that's good. Few little things here and there. Trying to figure it out. Editing is awful on the phone, unfortunately. I do not have a computer. I am a student. No matter what you may want to think about somebody in my age bracket that's been doing these things as long as I have, sometimes you gotta sacrifice to, get further ahead. So right now I am doing literally everything on my phone by myself, so please take it easy on me in the comments. I promise part of the specialness of all this is you get to see me from the beginning. You get to see, anybody that has started something, be it piano or, being a lawyer, anything you can do out there, just being a student, just being married for the first time, whatever it is. You know what it's like to, start out, especially when you know very, very little about the specific industry or whatnot that you're in, and just how tricky that can all be. So, I want to be able to give you guys some really great failures. I know I've had a fair share already, but I assure you there will be many, many more. So I will be videoing all over the school. I'll be giving interviews with some of our learning leaders, just a little bit of everything. My day-to-day what I go through, what you can expect if that's what you want to do. I think trade schools and beauty school, anybody that's interested in art and fashion, self expression, all these wonderful things, you have got such a wonderful opportunity because I'm all about bringing the industry up as a whole. I think there's so much competition, not only between salons, and I saw this in tattooing and piercing and just anything where people are kind of somewhat represented in their own business entity. It's all about, well, that Starbucks across the street is competing with our independent coffee place here. And you know what? Your job is to learn how to make the best cup of coffee. Your job is to learn how to be the best stylist in the world. And then you're not, because you always want to be less than the best, because if you're the best, that means you're going to sit down, you're going to rest on your laurels, you're not going to keep learning. So we'll get into that a little more under our education section. So as I said, new gear. Please expect more. I'm going to be getting an excellent camera, working on some editing tools, things like that. So hopefully the clips will be a little bit better, but I want to make sure it is still organic. So just bear with me. And I'm writing scripts now, which is probably a little better. At least this way I won't be dropping the camera. You won't be seeing me turn on and off. So that's a good thing. So, okay. All that being said, so right now it's about March 16th, give or take. I believe it's March 16th today. It is right now about 11:45 p.m. And if you're watching this far from now, hopefully you're watching it right now. I don't have a whole lot of subscribers right now, but right now, if you are watching this in the distant future, maybe in a time capsule or something, we are in the middle of, I don't want to call it an outbreak, but there's a flu-like virus that's going around and people are losing they are buying up mass amounts of food. Literally all the Walmarts are empty of products. I mean, all your big box stores, all your little grocery stores, everywhere is out of everything. So I mean, it is so important for all businesses, salon businesses, etc., especially businesses that do deal with people and cleanliness and working with the people themselves. Working in the body art industry, we are constantly dealing with blood and all these great things. So cleanliness has always been our paramount. If something like this happens in that industry, we're not phased. The biggest worry in the medical industry is being overwhelmed. It's not that things are dirty or things are unclean. They can control that. They just can't control the flow. And the irony is, if something horrible were to come from all this, they still wouldn't. I think the U.S. is worried about maybe being compared to India or having similar problems, when in the reality in the Western world, no offense to all my international listeners whenever you show up, we just have a different grade. Not saying yours is bad or ours is good, anything like that. It's different. The way we approach certain things is different. The way we approach, which honestly most of the time it's probably overboard, but there's hand sanitizer up the wazoo, etc., which ironically is probably making the antiviral ability stronger, in the sense that the virus is going to force to mutate, hence we have all the super viruses and super colds, etc. So all that being said, it's a huge annoyance, and literally you cannot find toilet paper, you cannot find bottled water, dry sundry supplies, things like that. They are all gone. My wonderful girl Melissa, who you will be talking to very soon, she works at a Sprouts, and everybody bought every single produce item, from the bok choy to the avocados to the apples to the oranges and the everything in between. The little cloves of garlic, they're all gone. So what they're doing with that much fruit, you got me. So I hope it blows over soon. And this is an extra annoyance because right now, within the last couple of days, they have announced that all of the K through 12 schools have been closed for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks. which makes the parents testy, which makes other people testy. And I'm not going to get too into it because honestly, I'm just going to rant, and I don't want to rant at you. I want to teach you guys something, and we'll go from there. So that's where we're at right now. I'll update you a little bit as we go along, but yeah, that's where we're at right now. Corona craze 2020, baby. Here we are. So I wanted to jump into the idea of not just education but communication. In the salon business, this is something, not the salon business, excuse me, not that far, but I know this is all hand in hand. In the beauty school that I currently go to, one of the things that I see the most that puts me off a little bit is, we paid a lot of money for this education. Not as much as a lawyer, but I mean, to the average person, anything in the tens of thousands of dollars range, 20, 30, 40, whatever, is a lot of money, and that's all money that we have to pay back. The federal government does not like you bouncing out on student loans. So I think people, because they don't have to write a check right away, it's kind of like buying a car and having to deal with the payment 6 months down the line, like, oh, we'll get this car, we'll figure it out by then. And especially because most of them are very, very young, there's this mentality of like, well, I'll just kind of ho-hum my way through, and then it's over. And that same ho-hum attitude kind of carries them out into the real world, and maybe they're just not happy with their lives currently. Maybe, and I'm going to say, knowing personally for a fact, it's not the education there. I know a lot of people have horror stories about the education when they were in beauty school, about the things they went through, hell, even in regular school. When I was in regular school, minus, everybody has that one or two teachers, but it's not like the movies, it's not like, these inspirational things. Usually school is horrible. People have really bad experiences there, and most of it is just a lack of motivation. It's teachers not making you want to learn and want to feel inspired. So, the teachers and learning leaders, quotes, are a huge part of that there, and they really go out of their way. They're all salon professionals. They all work, on a high end, if not full time, then part time, so that because they have a passion of education too, as do I, and I will be in the future doing more tutorials, just giving out as much free education as I can, because I want to build the entire community up. I want to make sure all of you out there are able to maybe watch some of these, hopefully when I'm further along, or watch them now. And if maybe I clue you into some little thing, like I had to have many students sit me down and say like, oh, you're doing it that way. Well, this is what they just taught me. And like, oh, okay, like light bulb moment. So, and going in that, basically just take your education seriously. You have nothing to look forward to in your life but work. Hopefully it's great work that you love, but it's work. And being an adult and dealing with real adult life, for the most part, is traumatic at the best of times. There's a lot of great things in there, don't get me wrong. It's outstandingly fun and amazing, as much as you make of it. But you always need a solid education, and one of the stupidest things in the world is to spend a ton of money. I mean, can you imagine buying a, I don't know, $100,000 car, and you drive it once, leave it on the side of the road with the doors open, walk away, and just hope it'll be there, in 4 years when you come back to it, and when it's wrecked and it's useless, you get upset, like, what, why didn't this work, or you buy some high-end whatever stereo system, and you get it home and you have somebody install it and they turn it on for you, and then you go to do something and you have no idea how it works, or something. I'm sure you can all relate in some way or another. And take your education seriously. Put the time in, put the work in. You have nothing better to do. You really don't. If you spent the money, take it seriously. You're just wasting your time, and you're also wasting the time of the people around you that are really taking this seriously and want to just sap every bit of information out of it. So basically, if you're not there to learn, leave. You know, nothing against you, but maybe you didn't evaluate the situation well, and maybe you got kind of talked into the potential of everything, and there is great potential, but it requires hard work. Anything that you want to love, that you do love, that you want to be wonderful at and put your everything into, means you've got to work your butt off, and that will never stop, especially if you love it. The difference is if it's something that you really love. I love hair. The two things in my life are my girl, my family, hair. That's about it. You know, these are the things that drive me every day. They are on my mind 24/7. When I sleep, I dream about them. So, you know, and kind of piggybacking from that are it's the idea of communication. Now, I'm not going to delve into this too deeply because I'd like to do some future videos on it, but communication is everything. And I think people hear this word and they don't quite process the valuability of it. It's everything. It's not just the communication between you and your customer, but it's you and your spouse, it's you and your children, it's every single person around you. The majority of people don't know how to talk to people correctly. And I don't mean correctly like, you know, poignantly English class, blah, 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 blah. It's being able to say something in a non-aggressive, etc. tone, being able to take information in and give information back in a way that's beneficial so everybody understands, everybody's on the same page, and you're not just talking like a jack, you know, you're communicating. And again, I'm going to get into this more. For starters, I mean, just to kind of start taking down that road, check out Steve Hogan. He's on YouTube. He's got a bazillion wonderful videos. Check him out. There's a whole bunch of other people that I'll start bringing to surface as we start doing more videos on communication, selling yourself, selling your product, the best way to sell product itself, selling your services, selling yourself, you know, garnering information from the client, doing proper consults, all this good stuff. So we're going to get into that more in future videos. I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. You know, one of the biggest parts of that is just talking less and listening more. You know, I think it's a human condition to just always want to wait for the other person to stop talking so you can start talking. It's not about that. If you're talking to somebody, you should be genuinely interested in what they have to say, regardless of the power situation. If you're the boss, if you're the subordinate, if you're the apprentice or the master, if you're a friend and a friend, or a husband and a wife, or a son and a child, and daughter and a child, whatever, a child and a child, it doesn't matter. Talk less, listen more. You are going to get so much more information, and it's such a simple concept. So again, we'll get more into that in further communication videos. Also, I really wanted to touch on real quick is, and this is again something I'm going to do a bigger video on, but I wanted to put something out tonight to kind of give a little preview of what's to come. Visualization and positivity, and this is something I could do 10 videos on its own, but again, there is so much that is scientifically based. These are principles that have been studied again and again and again and again and proven again and again and again. And the simplest way I can put it, if you are in a bad mood, if you think about bad things, if you just are surrounded with bad people, you know, negativity, violence, whatever it is, you are going to be that. Your brain is structured towards that. If you feel that you don't want to be that, if you want to feel better, act better, have people treat you better, you've got to change that mindset. Sunny D would call it a paradigm shift. You have to shift the paradigm of your brain. And when you do, there is an actual physical change, a chemical change as well, that occurs within the brain. When you start, you know, surrounding yourself with positive people, just making that positive shift, you are literally reprogramming your brain on an electric level, on a cellular level, and eventually on a physical level. So, again, we're going to get more into that, but for now, just start practicing being decent, being nice, and easiest way to think about it, if you get behind the chair or in your job, or you're about to work on any person in any type of profession, if you're in a bad mood, either just go home or don't be in a bad mood around them, because they didn't show up, and your bad mood is going to put them in a bad mood. You need to be happy. They didn't come there to hear your problems. They didn't come there for you to make them feel bad. They came there because they're already not feeling as great as they could be, and maybe they are, maybe they just want a little boost. Regardless of what it is, keep your problems where they belong, in your head, away from everybody else. Deal with them. Deal with them at home, deal with them away. It doesn't matter. Again, we'll get into it more. I'm not going to bore you with all that right now. So last thing that I'm really going to touch on real quick is just our style tips for the day. So this one is more, well, actually it's not. So anybody that uses any sort of tools, especially the salon professional, but this goes to any type of tool, even the tools of the consumer, to you at home that maybe does your hair once a day, is not a professional. If you work on cars, anything, anybody that uses high grade tools will tell you the same thing. They require maintenance, they require care, they require you to actually take care of them. I mean, do you really want to go out and buy a $25 hairbrush every 2 months because you keep breaking yours because you're not taking the time to clean the hair out? Or do you want to have to go buy a new blow dryer every month and a half because you keep burning yours out? First off, spend a little extra money and get something decent. You don't need a pro grade, but get something that fits you. And if it's $10, spend a little extra. Get something that's got a good warranty on it and feels good and fits you. And then just make sure you keep this stuff clean. Clean your filters, clean your brushes, clean all this stuff, clean your tools, keep them orderly, keep them organized. Just, following guidelines and whatnot. One of the important things in the salon industry on every aspect, because for us, our hands are our tools. This is the same in the tattoo industry. If I break this tool permanently, my career is over. There's no going back. There's nothing. That's it. Like, I'm done. My hands aren't insured like Mike Tyson's hands. They're not insured like J Lo's body if something happens. If I break these, I'm gonna have to start flipping burgers for a living. And there's nothing wrong with flipping burgers, but this is what I love. This is what I want to do. And I mean, honestly, even flipping burgers would be quite a challenge. You cannot break these tools. So these tools, this tool, everything, by this tool I mean my body, not me as a tool. So there you go. Just take care of yourself, man. And that's mental care. That's the care of your body, your skin. We're all going to get old. I'm getting older more than I like to think about, but we're all going to go through this stuff. So just take care of your stuff. I'll probably do a more in-depth video on actual clipper care, scissor care, comb, brushes, all that stuff. And, just the care of yourself as well, a little more on personal health and things like that, because for those of you who are watching this that are future stylists or already pro stylists, and I'm hopefully up there with you at that point, or however the subscriber system works, you can never stop going back to your basics. I see professional salon workers all the time that I'm constantly around people getting education. I want to sap every little bit of knowledge that I can out of every teacher around me, every learning leader, every mentor that I have the privilege of talking to. I want to get every single little tiny slice and nugget of information out of them I can, because I can use that. And I think my mentors are incredible, but honestly, I want to be better than them. One of the big things with, any person who teaches, I've apprenticed many people, And one thing that used to bug the crud out of me is when my apprentice would say, I can't wait until I'm as good as you. That really bothered me because that meant, first off, they're putting a cap on their abilities. I am far from the best. Definitely in the salon world, well, school world right now. And, I'm pretty good at doing tattoos, but I am very far from the top of the top of the top. And even if I was to that point where I considered myself a high end tattoo artist, I would never consider myself a master or the best of, because that would mean I don't want to learn anymore. So, in everything, I don't care if it's reading a book or, taking an online puzzle quiz or just watching a cool YouTube video about somebody talking a little bit about everything, hopefully about styling and beauticianing and cosmetology and hair, because hair is amazing and it's people and we all like to make ourselves feel good, others feel good, just do it all. So, that being said, like I said, keep on your tools. We are going to go over everything more in depth later. I wanted to get a little video out today. So, take care of all your tools, yourself, your mind. Don't catch the coronavirus, but don't buy into mass panic, please. It's not good. Really try and educate yourself every day and, communicate, practice communication skills, read and YouTube and do everything on communication, what it is, how it works, the best ways to utilize it. And I'm trusting you with this because there is dark communication and dark psychology and manipulation and stuff like that, which, to certain degrees does have some positives if it's used well, but I think a lot of the people that use it think they're gonna watch a couple of YouTube videos and be able to, I don't know, swab any girl that's in the bar. I don't know, it's creepy when you think about it in that context, but it's really just about being a better communicator, a better salesman. So yeah, thank you for watching today. Thank you for staying with me for all this. Sorry it went a few minutes over. I try and keep them around 15 to 20 minutes, but I wanted to get something cool out, especially with the new gear. Hopefully this will be slightly edited because I really hate you having to see me turn the button off. But I'm working on that as well. So I just want to thank the people that inspire me every day. Matt Beck over at Free Education. I'm still working on learning how to put links below, so I apologize for that. But look him up, Matt Beck, Free Education, Free Salon Education, excuse me. Huge influence, very amazing. Steve Villa. Still Steve Villa. There you go. Late night. Sorry. Steve Villa. Yeah. Steve Villa. I'm not gonna say that again. Steve Villa. He's got an amazing education channel on here. Check it out. He is a mentor of mine. Andrew Carruthers, his artistic director, by far some of the most well-rounded people that I have seen in this industry. I look forward so much to being able to meet them. So if you guys happen to catch this, please shoot me an email, vegasinkedtat, T-A-T, at gmail.com. Hit me up, and I would love to chat with you guys. Kelly Cardenas at Kelly Cardenas Salon. He's got an amazing book out there. Sunny D, the YFYI books are amazing. They all have great Instagrams, so check them out. And of course, got to thank Paul Mitchell School, Las Vegas. Without them, I wouldn't be here right now, at least on the school side, but probably here too. So yeah, just thanks to everybody. There's much more to come, and just watch me grow. I want you all to be here 2 years, 3 years, a year, whatever down the line when I'm doing something wonderful, and you can say, you know what, I remember when he couldn't even do a blow dry. So hopefully someday you'll all be sitting in my chair, and it'll go great from there. So thank all of you. Please watch this video. Please like and subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. I'm putting content out at least every other day, assuming we all don't die from the virus, which I hope not. And I can't wait to talk with you guys more. So if there's any requests, please let me know. Leave a comment. Anything you like, just let me know. If there's anything you guys would like to see, let me know. If you want to just throw some abuse, whatever you like, let me know in the comment section, please, and give a thumbs up and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you. This is My Stylist Life. I can't wait for you to see all that's to come. So thank you. Stay beautiful. I will see you soon. Bye.